FanDuel.com. So I'm going to click the button. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, let's move that microphone out of the way. What do we got on here? Oh, it's just this nice, comfortable, brand new Thrive t-shirt. Courtesy of ThriveFantasy.com, a place where winners win. What's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday, March 27th, and it's kind of a big day because baseball starts tomorrow. This is like sort of the last real NBA strategy show as presently constituted. Then we double up on content for like 10 days, and everyone wants to go crazy, and then baseball just slides into the ease of the summer. Adam, how you feeling? You excited for baseball?
Yeah, really excited for baseball. Still have a shit ton of work to do tonight. I think you do too.
I do.
But yeah, I'm always like slow to get into a new sport. Like I'm excited for it to start, but I like start to set up my process, and it's always just like, yeah, I don't feel like doing this right now. I can do it tomorrow.
Sounds pretty familiar.
Yeah, can't do it tomorrow.
No, can't do it tomorrow at all. I'm ready. I'm sorry, Tom, in advance. I'm ready for all of the NBA fuckery to be over. Like, I think that's the proper word for it. I'm ready to not worry too much about late scratches.
Yep.
And these 7 guys are questionable. Are they on a minutes limit? Like, could you imagine if baseball somehow had the same thing and it's like, we don't really know how many plate appearances Mike Trout's going to get tonight?
Right. There was someone they did that with like last season, but it happens like once or twice a year where it's like they're coming back from an injury. It's like, well, we want to get him a couple of bats. And it's like, what?
Not how this works.
Yeah. But no, I think this has been like for me at least, the like perfect transition week because NBA had been, I mean, it's still been pretty tame as far as in years past, like compared to years past, some of the stuff that's gone on. But it's definitely taken a turn to where you just can't really, for most of the teams now, you can't really predict their rotations that closely because they don't really care and they are just trying to see different guys in different spots. So, yeah, the last week or so has definitely gotten me ready for baseball.
Yeah, I'm soured on that. Oh, Trevor Ariza is playing. Oh, he got 8 minutes, and he's probably.
Was there anything less predictable than that happening?
I never saw him playing.
Well, no. I mean, like, I didn't think he was going to play. But then they're like, he's going to play, and then he gets hurt after 7 minutes.
I mean, it's just, I started looking at it, I started scrambling, and I was just like, well, I mean, what am I really going to do here?
Right. Like, I cut back on my Bobby Portis, but but it was like that like sums up the Wizards to me. You know, like we need to get Bobby Portis and Thomas Bryant playing alongside each other. We have to make decisions on both of these guys this offseason. Let's see, you know, how well they fit together. Blah, blah. Oh shit, Trevor Ariza is back. Yeah. Like, okay. Like, what are you doing?
Like, he basically just shouldn't even be questionable. He's either in at 9 o'clock in the morning when you wake up, or he's just out at this point in time in the season for the Wizards.
Why would they not shut him down at this point?
I have no idea. No idea.
Like, the only thing the Wizards are playing for right now is to see Thomas Bryant, Bobby Portis, Jabari Parker, and Troy Brown.
Yep.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Trevor Ariza does not help any of that.
Yeah, like, I mean, if they had the ability to shut down Bradley Beal, it would be the right decision. They don't have that ability.
Speaking of which, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he sits tonight.
Did he get dinged up or anything last night?
No, but Scott Brooks said that he's going to rest him. He just needs to figure out when.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah.
Alrighty. NBA strategy is the promo code. 50% off your first month with us. Any monthly package you choose, including packages with Fantasy Cruncher. Even packages that have MLB, so an MLB only or an all access if you want to have NBA and MLB for NBA throughout the playoffs. That'll be a thing. So use that code, NBA Strategy. We are also on Wednesdays brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. You can see the logo on the screen, but if you want to look at an even better version of it, it is on the shirt I'm wearing right now. Go to bit.ly/Awesemo, a link in which I will paste into the chat right now. Enter the promo code AwesemoStrat, one big word, and they just give you a free $5. I assume that Adam is going to use that code to replenish after all of his losses. Okay, we're almost done with this, so I'm sure you're happy.
I wish DraftKings had like a free $10,000 code to replenish my losses.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people do. Like 92% of everybody that's ever played on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Just crazy to think about it. Oh, man. I got Thrive props locked and loaded. Probably not going to take the over on that LeBron James one today, but we'll hit those as we go. Small slate. It's like the NBA reversed itself. Yesterday was massive. Today is small.
Yeah, it's like they knew it was my last NBA deep dive of the year, and they were just like, have fun.
Yeah, that I didn't want any part of that. Just I can't even imagine. It becomes an impossible article to write on these days, especially on on a 3 or 4 gamer. There's only so much news. 10 games.
Yeah.
Every sentence you write can be thrown in the garbage probably 90 minutes afterwards.
Yeah, it becomes much more of a thought process article, I think, than something that's gonna carry a ton of weight at lock.
Have you looked like majorly over this slate yet?
What do you think the answer to that question is?
To be honest with you, I knew the answer of it as I was saying it, but I was already pretty pot committed to the sentence, so it would have been way weirder if I just stopped talking.
No, I mean, I did the podcast last night. I did look through the slate and everything. Like
Okay.
I know that there's a ton of news.
Yeah, and it's there's not a lot of great games. I mean, Suns Wizards is obviously incredibly appealing from a DFS perspective, but also a complete garbage shit show. So
yeah, the podcast was a lot of me like just scrolling through like lists of players, just going like, no, I guess that's okay. No.
Yeah. Well, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Because we're gonna be talking a lot about you and I are gonna be talking a lot of baseball in the near future. So
yeah, can't wait for that.
Let's go.
Someone asked me in I don't know if it was regular chat or I think it was in office hours last night, how much I dig into pitching in baseball.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was like,
God, last year we were in the transition. We were doing like an hour and a half on pitching alone after a full strategy show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot. There's not much to dig into on hitting. So,
yeah, and most of it stems from what you find on pitching. So,
yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys will see. It's coming soon. We got a pretty big crop of, it's basically the exact same crop of people. Swap out Eddie for Jake, and that's the MLB crew. So, the Chicago Bulls are hosting the Portland Trailblazers. 107.25 implied total for the Bulls. 112.25 for the Blazers. Chris Dunn, Zach LaVine, Otto Porter, Larry Markkinen are all questionable in the most ridiculous nonsense ever. Oh no, Otto Porter is just out. Never mind. That's helpful. Otto Porter is just out. Sorry, for some reason I felt like it was 4 straight Qs when I looked at it this morning.
I thought it was too, but
Porter is just out. I'm gonna assume that you projected this the same way that I did. Markkinen in and the other guy's out.
I projected them all out because why not?
Okay. I left Markkinen in because halftime illness didn't bother me all that much for today. I agree. Tell you what, bothered me a ton yesterday.
I loved it yesterday, but
no, I had quite a bit of Markkinen.
I was like half the field.
Why?
Because
like what? How did you land on that? Because obviously it wasn't because I think he's going to get sick at halftime.
No, it was because I had him projected for like 1.15 points per minute. I expected him to be less efficient than normal, and Lofty convinced me to play a bunch of Kevin Love.
Gotcha. Yeah,
he shot 1 for 11.
Yeah, hey, better than getting the poops at halftime.
That's true.
Maybe. Okay. This is going to be a really tricky one to talk about. Pace up spot, slightly tough defensive matchup on paper, but that is going to change pretty dramatically. There's a slight difference in defensive ability between Yusuf Nurkic and Enes Kanter. Something to keep in mind if you're looking at recent stats for defense. Has anything changed for you in this particular matchup for Shaq Harrison, Archie, Blakeney, Selden?
No.
Okay. I know you were less enthusiastic about them yesterday on the deeper dive, or at least, maybe Shaq Harrison and stuff. Taking a closer look at someone like Selden at lower ownership. A 5-game slate is going to be a little different. Do you anticipate having quite a bit of these guys if everybody ends up out?
Yeah.
Or even if Markkanen is in?
Yeah, even if Markkanen's in. Yeah, 5-game slate, like you said. The price tags haven't really moved. Harrison's still, I think, the most likely fade for me, just because he's 20% more expensive than everyone else.
His price is so stupid on DraftKings compared to FanDuel. I wish one of them would fix themselves.
He was 48 on FanDuel yesterday. What is he today?
Same.
Okay.
He's $100 more expensive on DraftKings.
Yeah. And it's not that I think he's too expensive. It's just that I think he probably gets too much ownership at that price when the most likely outcome is that he gives you like a completely mediocre score. The other guys, though, Selden at 3,600, Archie at 4,100, Blakeney at 3,600, those guys all, I think, are more likely to outproduce their score their salary than Harrison is.
Yeah, I don't totally disagree. I'm getting a ton of Harrison and I can't stop it. And most of that is just minutes and it's a function of everything and him having a pretty sizable standard deviation. So it's something that I need to at least look at. He's at 53% ownership on FanDuel, 37% on DraftKings.
Yeah, I mean, my guess is that I would come in somewhere around 40, 45%.
Yeah, I have 70 and 80 right now, but I hope that just naturally changes itself as the day goes on. I don't get to as much Archie, and that's kind of a function of just this particular team. He lines up as 4th of 4 of both, all the value of guard play. So it seems like I don't like Archie as much as I like someone like Shaq Harrison, but ultimately it's just because Harrison blocks him. If Harrison's 4,800 on FanDuel and Archie is 3,600, I'd rather just have more Archie.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Punt even more. DraftKings is probably a little different since I think Shaq Harrison can actually do something better than Archie, but that's neither here nor there.
I I guess I just updated Shaq's rates for everyone off the floor. And, I guess I have him at a point per minute in this game.
Yeah, I've got him at 0.94. I can't stop it from popping up, even at the garbage price on DraftKings. I hate it. It doesn't make me comfortable at all.
Yeah.
Rank Shaq Harrison, Archie, Blakeney, Selden.
Well, now that I've updated everything, Shaq. Shaq, Selden, Archie, Blakeney.
Okay. I get a ton of Blakeney. And on FanDuel, I don't care about any of this stuff. I'll take whatever I get of Selden, Blakeney, Archie, and then Harrison is the only one that I would keep an eye on. But again, it doesn't matter because at least I'm dropping one of those guys. Even if I have two of them, I hope that one of them does well. I'll take the extra salary. DraftKings is a little trickier. I get a lot of Blakeney at 3,600 right now.
I have Selden ahead of Blakeney.
Okay. I have, how many minutes do you have Selden playing?
35.
Okay, well 34. I have him at 28. So you also have Markkanen not.
Yeah.
And they don't have more bodies. Do you have any interest in Brandon Sampson if they are all out? I think we both agree that we don't care about TLC.
Right. Well, I think I'd rather play TLC than Sampson.
Okay. God, welcome to baseball season, everybody.
Yeah.
We are talking, of all the people on the Bulls right now, is Lauri Markkanen the only one that you're positive is in the NBA 2 years from now?
Yeah.
I could see Rolo.
Shaq Harrison will be.
Okay. Rolo could retire.
Huh?
Rolo could retire.
Right, yeah. Oh, Chandler Hutchison.
He's not healthy.
Oh, right, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I think Chris Dunn and Zach LaVine and Otto Porter will be in the league too, man.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter Jr. They're missing a full starting five.
Yeah.
Dunn, LaVine, Porter, Hutchison, Wendell Carter Jr. could start a lot of games if Markkanen's out.
Yeah.
That's craziness. And they still suck. That's the crazy part of it all. They're missing 5 of their 6 best players and they're still garbage. even when they're healthy. Okay, so if Markkanen is in, because I think we would agree that he is the most likely to be in.
Yeah.
I'm getting like close to 50% of him. 7,300 on FanDuel, 6,700 on DraftKings. Do you think you would end up on him today?
Yeah, I think I would. Just smaller slate, less options.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, there's no Julius Randle today. There's no Kevin Love. There's no Al Horford. That was another one. Like, I had 20, almost 30% Al Horford yesterday, $800 less than Markkanen.
I had a lot of Horford, and right out of the gate, it was not looking great.
Yeah, it ended up okay, but still not very helpful.
No. He salvaged, at least. He wasn't going to kill you. Thank God. Would we say Dunn is second most likely? Or would you say Levine?
Yeah. I think there's a pretty big gap between Markkanen and Dunn, though.
I agreed. I mean, if any of those guys are in, like, I like them, probably. But I think Markkanen would be like the best piece of Chicago if he can play. And
I agree with that.
Anticipate him playing. Gonna have to keep an eye on this one, guys. Though that's a lot of minutes in flux, like half of them. Want to hit Portland?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Slight okay pace matchup here, but what you're really looking for in this is a matchup against the Bulls. Dame Lillard is 11,000 on FanDuel, 10-3 on DraftKings, 47 on Yahoo. I can only imagine that these numbers go up, but maybe I'm wrong. We have Dame Lillard on FanDuel projected for 20% ownership. We have him projected on DraftKings for 12. I have a lot more than that.
They might go up, but people really have not been buying into this whole like CJ McCollum out makes Dame Lillard a monster thing. Like
I have him projected for 1.53 fantasy points per minute today.
As you should.
Okay. You're on the same page then. Get lots and lots of Dame.
Yeah, it's just been that like every slate so far, it's like, okay, Dame is owned, but he should be like the highest owned guy or one of the highest owned guys on the slate, and he's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much else to say to that. If there is a single negative in this spot, I'm going to have a hard time finding it outside of the fact that Portland should just smack Chicago around, and that is not the way that I look at this. And the fact that they're only 5-point favorites in Chicago is something to keep an eye on. Yeah,
and also Portland has nobody, so if they smack Chicago around, I think it's probably Dame.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's probably not Mo Harkless doing the smacking. I mean, if the line really is 5, that leads me to believe that it's probably Markkanen plus someone. Whether that's Levine or Dunn, I don't know. But 5 for Portland in Chicago with all of these injuries makes me think that 2 of those 3 guys play. Just throwing that out there. I mean, that's clearly just a hypothetical. But
yeah, no, I mean, I'd said on the pod last night that my guess, if Chicago was healthy, was that Portland would be like around a 6-point favorite.
Yeah. So keep an eye on that. The next guy we got to talk about, what you would assume is the main benefactor of the broken leg of Yusuf Nurkic. But it's not as good as it seems on FanDuel, but I guess the minutes will tell you the story. Enes Kanter is 6,500 on FanDuel, 5K on DraftKings. Let's start on minutes. I gave him 27.
I gave him 26.
Okay. Not really that owned on FanDuel, just 11%.
And what's the price?
6,500.
Yeah.
Yeah. DraftKings, on the other hand, 5K, 54% ownership on Enes Kanter. And that makes perfect sense to me.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to be really difficult to get away from on DraftKings.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason that he I'll have, I would assume, like less than 100% Enes Kanter is because, as usual, there's a bunch of cheap centers in good spots on DraftKings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got 59% on my first crunch, and we're projecting 54. No issue whatsoever with having whatever amount of Kanter you want on DraftKings. It will not get much better than him at 5K, especially in this matchup against the garbage Bulls. Yeah, FanDuel, I could take it or leave it. I would guess that he gets juiced on FanDuel just because of the scenario. I don't know how well we can model something like that. But I don't really need him at 6,500. I think there are better options out there. Do you have any interest in the rest of Portland?
Zach Collins, yeah.
Okay, how many minutes did you give Collins?
24.
Okay, I gave him 22.
Yeah,
I
I'll
could
say
probably easily give him. I gave Myers Leonard 10.
Yeah, same boat.
Okay. There's going to be some sort of split there, but I assume they dust Myers Leonard off.
Yeah. But Collins with power forward eligibility makes him pretty useful.
Yeah, I didn't get him at all right now. I think that I might have to take a deeper look into his particular rates.
I mean, yeah, I still only have him at like 0.9 points per minute. So
okay, then maybe I won't get him.
Right. It's not that I think he's necessarily a great play. It's just that it's a 5-game slate, and I mean, I like all the Bulls I think are better values.
Yeah. I mean, he has minutes upside.
Right.
They could just as easily play him 28 minutes and continue to keep Cantor where they are.
Yeah. Like I don't think that happens, but yeah.
I see his his floor has risen dramatically now.
Oh yeah, no question.
I mean, they might need to try to I can see them doing that because I think they need Collins more than they need in Cantor in the playoffs.
I agree with that.
So maybe now is the time to stretch him out and work him into the that kind of role and use Cantor still just off the bench.
Yeah, I mean Cantor's role
Cantor shouldn't change.
It shouldn't change, right?
At least not for their long term. Like if they're trying to win a regular season game, yeah, but Cantor playing 28 plus minutes in the playoffs is just going to get them swept again.
Yep. Yeah, he should be the bench scorer like he already was.
Yes, he should. I mean, he should kind of still be that guy for the Thunder, but that's neither here nor there. I don't really have any interest in Curry. I mean, you can talk me into like a tiny bit of Mo Harkless or Aminu just because of this matchup, but really it's just a ton of Lillard and Cantor on DraftKings.
Yep, pretty much where I'm at. By the way, I've Lillard on DraftKings at 1.67 points per minute.
Do you have him over? So you have him over 60?
Yep.
I have 58.9, so sure you can
and I have him at
big
37
for me. So do I.
Yeah. Since last season, he's played 801 minutes without McCollum or Nurkic on the floor. He has a 41.6% usage rate and a 30% assist percentage. And he's averaged 1.53 points per minute on average.
God, it doesn't get much better than this. Go get it, Dame. Let everybody know that Hulu has live sports.
Those commercials are so great.
It's just great marketing.
Yeah.
I guess. It's just always like, Joel Embiid has changed his name from The Process to Joel Hulu has live sports Embiid.
I love thinking, why'd you change your name? Money.
Great advertising. Kudos to the person that came up with that campaign. You ready to talk about an even better team?
The Wizards?
The Memphis Grizzlies hosting the Golden State Warriors. 102 implied total for the Grizz. Second lowest on the slate by a quarter of a point to the Lakers. 113 for the Warriors. By all accounts, everyone's healthy for the Warriors. Memphis, a little bit different. So Mike Conley is questionable. I left him out. Avery Bradley's still out. No Joakim Noah. God, brutal. So we'll start with Joe Val. 8,400 on FanDuel, 7,700 on DraftKings. Well, this is one reason why I don't really need to get to Enes Kanter on FanDuel. I love Valanciunas here. Both sites, doesn't matter. Only at 17 and 16% ownership, respectively. I'm going to have more than that as of right now.
I would agree with that.
Nice.
People, I think, are still like, oh, it's the Warriors. You can't play centers. DeMarcus Cousins plays 30 minutes a night.
Yeah. We're not playing them in Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals.
Right.
They're not. They have, centers against the Warriors are probably like a decent scenario considering they have 27 of them to rotate through.
Right.
Whole damn roster.
Right. Like, Draymond barely even plays center anymore.
Yeah. Like, do you anticipate being significantly over the field on Joval?
Yeah, especially if Conley's out.
What do we got going on here? You got to realize these guys are probably not giving you real good information because they are competing against you. Yeah. That's what I want to do. Put together a bunch of work that doesn't even benefit myself. God.
Honestly, I think I probably make better lineups than most people to where I could tell them exactly who to play, and I still would get better lineups.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't ever want to put that kind of work in. It's hard enough to do the work legitimately.
Right.
It takes forever. DeLon Wright, 6,200 on FanDuel, 5,600 on DraftKings. Not really getting any ownership. I'm fine with him pretty much one way or the other. I mean, like, I don't love him if Conley plays. It's certainly not great.
Who'd you say?
DeLon Wright.
I mean, if Conley plays, I don't want him.
I don't mind him if he's 1% owned on DraftKings like he is on here.
Yeah. I mean, sure, if I get like 5%, I'll be 5x the field, I guess. But
Sure. Yeah. If Conley's out, how do you feel?
love him.
Okay. Tyler Dorsey?
Same thing. Love him if Conley's out. Not really there if he's in, because his price tag's up to 4,500 now, which it's just one of those prices where it makes no sense, because if Conley's out, he's still way too cheap. If Conley's in, you don't really get there, because he is significantly worse on a per minute basis when he plays alongside Conley. He started next to Conley the last time that Conley played, so most of his minutes were alongside of him. So it just makes a really big difference. But since joining Memphis, he's averaged a point per minute without Conley on the floor. So if Conley's out and you're going to get like 36 minutes or something from the 39 minutes last game, but around 36 minutes from Tyler Dorsey at a point per minute at 4,500, that's better than anything on Chicago.
Yeah, I have him in for 36 minutes right now with Conley out. I got 60+% on FanDuel, 70% on DK. I just can't imagine not wanting to be there if Conley doesn't play.
Yeah. I mean, I have Wright and Dorsey both better than anything on Chicago if Conley's out.
Wait, say that you have Conley, or you have Dorsey and
Wright, both as better plays than Shaq, Archie, Blakeney, Selden, if Conley is out.
Okay. Dorsey, I agree. DeLon Wright is sort of in the same package.
I have DeLon Wright at 39 DraftKings points.
We are separated by a bit, so I might need to look at some rates. Because I don't think that you have him projected for 44 minutes or something to get there.
No, I'm at 36, but I do have him at like 1.08 points per minute.
Yeah, you and I are on a different wavelength there, and I am confident it's because you've looked at it and I haven't.
Well, I mean, he's at 0.92 since joining, so I think it's just pace that it's higher. But
sure, I don't know. Can you hear that? Yeah, you definitely
what
can.
is that? What is that?
Someone doing something outside. Cutting grass, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I dropped Wright's point per minute and still have him at like 36.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to end up 4 or 5 points higher when I get done with this, which is going to put him in a crazy amount of lineups. Any Justin Holiday?
If Conley is out, I mean, you're talking about a cheap guy playing mid-30s in minutes.
Yeah.
It's still Justin Holiday.
Okay. I can finally get off the Bruno wagon. His price is higher now.
Were you on him last slate?
I was.
Nice. Yeah. I actually had twice the field.
Nice. I mean, I probably ended up with like 8 or 9 times the field or something stupid. But
what's the what's that?
Am I in a jet engine? Jesus.
What's that thing at soccer games? Like the
vuvuzela?
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's the low hum of the vuvuzela. I mean, it's so loud that like I have my mic set up with basically like a door to allow noise in, and it's still going over that. None of whatever's happening is in my house.
Yeah.
It's so loud I can't even figure out if it's behind me or in front of me.
So you're pretending you didn't hire people with vuvuzelas to sit behind you while you wear your Thrive shirt and celebrate your win.
Man, that would have been really cool if I did. Yeah, that's what it is. It is not someone cutting grass outside. It is definitely the 4 men that I paid to blow into vuvuzelas outside of my office door. Oh, God. Anybody else from Memphis? Do you get to anything?
No.
Okay. Let's go to Golden State. If everybody's in, I'm not really getting to anything from Golden State.
I mean,
That makes me uncomfortable, but I'm kind of cool with it.
so I mean, the one reason I guess you could get to them is just raw points,
Yes.
but because I mean, there's a very good chance that there's just an absurd amount of value on this slate, and you just end up with $9,000 to spend on Steph Curry. Memphis is playing faster than they were for most of the season. They aren't as good defensively as they were before the trades. There's still obvious upside in guys like Curry, but with Cousins back, with Durant playing, it's like the lowest per minute projection that you're going to get for anyone on Golden State.
Yeah, I didn't get anybody more than 3% on either site.
That's scary.
Yeah, like Curry's at 14 on FanDuel. This is projected. Curry at 14, Durant 17, Clay 12. On DK, the only person above 10 is Cousins at 12. So projections aren't like ownership projections aren't really getting them there. As value is like locked in throughout this slate, these are the first couple guys that would naturally gain because you're going to have more money to spend. I don't know. None of them are particularly great when they're all together.
Yeah, I mean, I have Curry as my top one on. Actually, I guess $7,000 Clay is my top guy on DraftKings.
I don't know why they wouldn't sit someone.
Yeah. Normally, they're pretty good about announcing it, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I mean, I have Clay and Curry grading out well. It's just that also most of the value on the slates at guard. You also have Dame Lillard, who these guys aren't in the same ballpark as him. Yeah. You have Westbrook, if you have the money to spend. You have Booker against Washington. Like, guard is just insanely deep at the top and the bottom.
Yeah, and that's sort of the problem. Like, I like Curry the most out of anybody, but I certainly don't like him more than Dame. All of the value is at guard as of right now. It's 10 different dudes, so you run out of roster spots.
Yep.
Which, makes for an interesting thought process of, do I just play them and differentiate elsewhere? Because I assume that Steph Curry is a high scorer on the slate a lot more than the 7% that he's owned. God, yeah. That is so damn loud.
I can't hear it anymore.
I don't know. I just hope they're cutting my grass. I don't have anything else to talk about for the Warriors.
Nope.
Cross your fingers that somebody's out and makes them all significantly more playable. I don't know. Move on. Actually, let's hit a couple Thrive props while we're here.
Sure.
We'll circle back to someone from Portland, Damian Lillard. The number is 0.5. You get 75 points for the over. You think Damian Lillard picks up a steal tonight?
Yes, I have him at 1.3.
Yeah, that is my number 6 prop right now. I have him at 1.2. So even though you only get 75 points for the over, I would take that one. Might not be a GPP play, but I like it in cash. There we go. Highest Warrior that I have here. Kevin Durant. 100 points on either side of the coin. 5.5 assists is the number. You want to go over or under?
5.5 assists?
Yep.
I have 5.2.
I have 5.1. I would take the under. Right now, that is my number 12 prop. It's in the ice spot. Sorry, Kev. Curry is directly below him as well for me. So,
what's Curry?
Curry, 26.5 points, 95 for the over.
I'm at 29.
Oh, I'm actually under on this. I have 25.8. Oh boy. All right, let's move on. Oklahoma City Thunder against the Indiana Pacers. Revenge narrative today? Get ready. 110.75 implied total for the Thunder, 104.75 for the Pacers. Pace down spot for Oklahoma City. We got Russ and PG. Russ 11-2 on FanDuel, 10-5 on DraftKings. PG 10-4 on FanDuel, 9,900 on DraftKings. Looks like I'm paying up for Russ. He is 37% owned on FanDuel, 29% on DraftKings. I have a similar amount. That also concerns me. Not much love for Paul George on DraftKings. I do have quite a bit on FanDuel. You gonna find yourself getting to Russ or PG?
I have Russ pretty far behind Lillard. So I think it might be tough for me to get to Russ. And then Ford isn't as deep as the guard positions, so George fits in better. I would expect that I have more George than Russ.
Okay. I actually just have a bunch of Russ and a bunch of Dame. So
yeah, makes sense.
I mean, pretty much all of my like point guard eligibility or point guard shooting guard is in like 6 dudes.
I'm guessing I get more Steph than Russ.
Really?
Actually, I guess it'll be close. I have Russ slightly ahead of Steph.
Okay. Yeah, like I didn't get to much George at 9,900 on DraftKings. That feels a little high.
I feel like you never do.
I got a ton. Well, that might have been a function of the slate and the way that the news broke. I definitely late swapped to a lot of them 2 nights ago. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been the same lately. He's at 1.25 fantasy points per minute over his last 30. I'll have some.
But what about once he stopped shooting 25%?
Yeah, it'll go up. I mean, I'm not saying that I have him at 1.25. I'm just saying that's where he's
I
been
see.
lately.
Yeah.
He's not projected at 25% shooting for me.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Any interest in Steven Adams?
Not really. Same thing as always. The price tag is too cheap as far as just pure point per dollar. But when you start thinking about ranges of outcomes, Enes Kanter's ceiling is higher, and then you have guys like Ayton against Washington.
Yep.
Different price point, obviously, but Gobert against the Lakers, Valanciunas, like these guys are all much more likely to just be guys you need to win a tournament than Steven Adams is.
Yeah, I didn't get much, just like 5-6%. I'm cool with that. I don't have any Schroeder. I've got some Jeremy Grant at 5,500 on FanDuel, but otherwise, everybody knows what you're getting out of Oklahoma City from a DFS perspective.
Yeah, pace down spot, bad matchup. Don't be concerned with Grant's minutes from last game. He was in foul trouble.
Yeah, I got him in for 33 here. Could easily go higher.
I have 34.
Okay. Go to Indiana. Massive pace up spot. 4.6 possessions is what I have them gaining. Start on Miles Turner. 7,700 on FanDuel, 6,200 on DraftKings, and I essentially have no interest.
I feel like he goes completely overlooked here. And I like the spot.
Yeah.
I have him at 32 minutes. It's a spot where he has a ton of block upside with Westbrook driving all the time. Schroeder as well. He is he's not dependent on scoring at the basket, so I'm not too concerned about Steven Adams. I'm not saying he's a priority for me over other guys because center's a deep position, but I do think he's a really good tournament play because I just think he probably goes completely overlooked.
Yeah, I would agree. He's probably not going to grade out well enough to get in a lot of lineups in an optimizer, but having him probably gives you a better chance to win, depending on how high his public ownership gets. Because 6,200 is completely manageable. I mean,
right.
Where's it at? Who's got the high? DeAndre Ayton is projected for 3 times as much ownership, $800 or $600 more expensive. That strikes me as a spot that isn't necessarily going to just be Ayton smashing him every time. Pretty easy to just look at that and go in a little bit of a different direction if Ayton's not your cup of tea.
Right, and I have Ayton projected for a few more points, but they're in the same ballpark.
Right.
You mentioned, what did you say? DeMarcus Cousins had the highest ownership from Golden State
on DraftKings. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's another one where I have him very slightly ahead of Turner, but if Turner's lower owned, I'd rather have Turner.
Yeah, I have him very, very slightly ahead as well. Cousins is 12%, Turner's 12 as well. So.
Okay.
I'm getting to like weird parts of this game. Thad Young's price has rolled back down a little bit. He's 6,200 on FanDuel, 5,600 on DraftKings. I'm getting quite a bit of him on both sites. I think the extra pace helps, and just the position itself, where his salary lands. Do you have any interest in Thad Young today?
He grades out like completely neutral for me. I have Bogdanovich ahead of Thad Young.
Okay, he's the only other guy that I have with any sort of volume from the Pacers. I just have slightly more Thad than Bogdanovich.
I have Collison ahead of Thad too.
I essentially don't have Collison. I'm not happy about it. But I did take a look at these Pacers, so I'm okay with what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Any revenge narrative Sabonis for you?
Yeah, of course.
That's
something I believe in.
I might take Oladipo.
Right.
Yeah, I'm all over the place on this game. There's basically just Thad and Boyan, which you're rarely comfortable with. Do you get to any Sabonis? He's at 21% ownership on FanDuel right now. DraftKings is kind of crazy because it's the same price.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll get a whole lot on DraftKings. I haven't projected for like 33 points at 6,300.
Yeah.
So like I haven't projected in the same like ballpark as Young and Bogdanovich, and Collison, but he's more expensive than all of them on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I imagine I'd get more because it is a pace up spot. He obviously is a very good player on a per minute basis, and he just needs Turner to foul Westbrook a couple times, and he becomes a great play.
Yeah, for real. Good point. I don't have anything else for this game.
Nope.
Alrighty, we're done the 8 o'clocks. Yeah, I said that correctly. 8 o'clocks. Lock is an hour later than it normally is, so be ready. 6 o'clock deeper dive, 7 o'clock live before lock. 2 games remaining, but let's hit a thrive prop from OKC and Indiana. Specifically, Russell Westbrook. Points, rebounds, assists. 41.5 is the score. You get 105 points for the over.
I have 42.8, so I would take the over.
I would take the over as well. I have 47.3. So pretty high on Westbrook.
I'm mainly just impressed how quickly I did that math.
Are they all like super round numbers, 5s and 10s and shit?
10, 11.1, 21.7.
Heroic effort on Adam. Maybe if you had that math skill, you'd be wearing this t-shirt. Yeah, that's my number 3 prop. So shout out to Russ. Go to Phoenix. The Phoenix Suns are hosting the Washington Wizards. 114.75 implied total for the Suns. 116.25 for the Wizards. Clear highest total of the day. Both teams are 1 and 2 in implied total. Technically, the Suns are tied with the Jazz, but I think we all know which one's which here. We'll go to Phoenix. Tyler Johnson out. Josh Jackson questionable. I have left Josh Jackson out. Trevor Ariza not playing tonight. Should be good to go on everything else, barring anything we just haven't heard. No one else is already on the injury report, at least.
Right.
Start at Phoenix. Great pace, great defensive matchup. Everything is checked off in the positive way. I've got quite a bit here. Devin Booker is 10-7 on FanDuel, 9,200 on DraftKings. Relatively chalky, 20 plus on FanDuel, 30 plus on DK. I completely agree with it. Any issues with Booker?
Nope. Got him ahead of Steph. Got him ahead of, when you factor in price, ahead of Westbrook.
See where I'm at there. That one's going to be really close for me.
Yeah, it's not by a wide margin, but got a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, in a head-to-head between the two, including their salary, I have Russ beating Booker 51% of the time, so fucking the same thing. Yeah, pretty hard to not want to at least take a close look at Booker. This could be fun. This could, honestly, if Beal plays, this could turn into those two just bombs away.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, just to like go back and clarify, like there's been nothing specifically hinted at or said about him sitting tonight. Brooks just said that he would like to rest him at some point down the stretch, and he needs to figure out when he can do it.
There we go. $8,300 on FanDuel, $6,800 on DraftKings, $25 on Yahoo, which might be the best play of the day. How are you feeling about DeAndre Ayton?
Really good.
Yeah. I got 27% on FanDuel, which is more than the public, and I got 52% on DK, which is more than the 37% we're projecting.
So this is something that probably goes overlooked. I don't know if you did it or not. Have you looked at their numbers without Oubre on the floor since the trade?
I mean, I guess, yeah. I had before the last game.
Okay, yeah,
Not
like,
today.
Like Booker's usage skyrockets, and so does Ayton's.
Yeah, I got Booker at 40 today.
Yeah, I have Booker at 37.5. Ayton, since the All-Star break, Ayton has a 19.9% usage rate. But since the trade deadline, if you take Kelly Oubre off the floor, it's 24.7%.
Yeah, I've got him in at 25 right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they are the only two functional basketball players on this squad. Like, Mikal Bridges is a good team basketball player for a rookie, but Booker and Ayton are on a completely different planet. And Ayton, I mean, that's the kind of experience you get from a rookie that's 47 years old. I'm not done there with Phoenix exposure, though. I've got 20% of Mikal Bridges on FanDuel, not nearly as much on DraftKings at 4,800. I don't need to pay like mid-tier pricing for value on a day where there's 700 dudes at 4,200 or less that you can play.
Agreed.
I get too much Bender. I don't know how to stop it. This is like daily. I don't know how to like ruin his projection or what to do to stop getting Bender.
Put in his rates and his averages.
I mean, I've got him at 0.69 for today. He's been at 0.59 over the last 30 days, but he's clearly getting a boost from possessions and defense. So I can't go much I can go lower, but I can't go lower than what he's actually been. I hope.
Well, you could adjust for Washington not playing that fast anymore.
I have them. How big is? I mean, I assume that I'm close to that anyway. Like, do you have pace numbers in front of you?
No, but I looked before either yesterday or the day before, and they were like 13th since the All-Star break.
Okay, I have them 8th as of right now, but let me run it. Since Wowie is fantastic now and moves really quickly, let's take Oubre off. Is there anybody else I need to take off since the deadline?
Ariza.
Since the deadline.
Oh, you mean the Wizards, never mind.
Yeah. No, from the Suns.
What?
Good. That's a good point. From the Wizards. No, I don't have to take anybody other than Ariza off. Sorry. The fact that Oubre was on both of these teams was slowing me down in my query. So just Ariza. Wizards pace. Yeah, that one got me bad. I went straight to Suns and Oubre. They've been at 99.1 possessions. I have them at 100.9. So I can dial that down a little bit. I also don't know how they calculate pace, so I wouldn't want to go all the way, but I could take a full possession off of that, which will change things a little bit. It's not changing anything for Bender. He lost 0.01, which isn't going to help me. I assume so. You're not getting Dragan Bender, is what you're telling me.
I have him at like 18 points.
I have him at 21. How many minutes?
25.
Okay, so I have him in at 30. We just found our answer.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd get him at 30? Also, do you have Josh Jackson in?
At the moment, yeah.
Okay, I have him.
Yeah, if I give Bender 30, I still probably don't get him. I have him at 21.
Okay.
But I would get the only reason I would get some is because he's a Ford.
Yeah. All right, and I think that's sort of the issue that I'm running into now. We haven't projected for 3% ownership. I've got him at 10.
I still have, if I project him for 30 minutes and I project Rashawn Holmes for 16, I have Rashawn Holmes projected for 0.7 more of a point. 0.7 of a point more.
Yeah, I mean, I have him at 30 minutes and 16 minutes, and I only have Holmes back by 3 full points, so you can get there pretty quick.
Yeah. You said you have how many minutes for Holmes?
16?
Okay, yes. Yeah,
Okay, let me dull the sharp edges here, and I'll just give them to Ray Spalding since he seems like a nice guy. That's how I project minutes.
that's how a lot of NBA coaches do it too, I think.
Yeah, some of them probably do. It's probably how Joe Prunty doesn't have a job. Booker and Ayton are the clear stars here, though.
Yep, no question.
Let's go to Washington. Thank God we don't have to deal with like a Q tag on Ariza today.
Yeah.
Beal is 10K on FanDuel, 9K on DraftKings. I haven't been getting a ton of him over the past couple games. This one's changing a little bit. I'm with the field at least. 25% on FanDuel, 17 on DK. I don't love the pricing and all, but I mean, at some point in time, matchup and everything matters. So I'm going to get to some Beal.
Yeah, I still don't have him projecting that well. Like I have him at 36 minutes.
Okay, I gave him 38, which I'm not comfortable with. I don't know what to do with him anymore. It was so easy to just give him 40 minutes and like stop paying attention to it.
Yeah. I mean, he's played 36, 34, and 37 in his last 3, basically since the Wizards were eliminated.
Yeah, I'm going to take 2 off there.
And it's a back-to-back.
What's up, babe? Okay. Are you keeping rigs? Sorry, man. Apparently those loud yard people are not just loud for us. Hi. What's up, Dingo? Had to take one of the pups. They were being dicks because of the loud yard people.
Oh, gotcha.
The wife's on a call downstairs. I'm on a live show, but that's not that important.
We see who wears the pants there, Josh.
Yeah, her. I'm wearing no pants right now. Just a Thrive t-shirt, like I'm a cartoon dog. Oh, God. I'll have a little bit of Beal, but there's a lot more to like here from Washington. You want to take the Thomas Bryant beating again tonight?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I don't have much interest for 6,700 on FanDuel. Like, I have him. I don't think it's like a blowaway play, but 6K on DK, I got 36%. I'm going right back to the well. 28 minutes. 28. Are you at like 32 or something?
34.
Yeah. Well, you're probably going to get him then. I got 36% at 28, so I don't
need to go higher than 32.
I might not need to go higher than 28.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's going to be there a lot. Not the only guy I'm getting, though. I've got quite a bit of Bobby Portis on FanDuel. 36%. I get Portis more than Bryant on FanDuel. He's $200 cheaper. He's also 30% owned compared to 10, so maybe that would be, the position is going to be the problem there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a little concerned about his rates going forward. Not super concerned because it's still Bobby Portis and he'll still contribute, but I do expect his rebounding to go down a bit just from playing more minutes alongside Thomas Bryant.
Yeah, that makes sense. Infinite Troy Brown on FanDuel.
Still 3,700 or 3,500?
Yes, he is. Okay. Yeah, I have 73% right now.
Has to play well at some point.
Yeah, if he's really 32% on FanDuel and that number holds, I might try to put him in 100%.
There's no reason not to.
No. I got 73 pretty naturally. I gave him 26 minutes. That number can change dramatically higher. He's really hard to ignore. On DK at 4,800, I could give 2 shits. He's got the worst pricing gap of anybody on the slate.
Yeah, he graded out as pretty neutral on DraftKings, which on this slate, given all the value that we're going to have, means not really getting there. But FanDuel at 3,500, yeah.
Anybody else? Satoransky, Jabari?
If I get some Satoransky, fine. But there's so many guards, I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I have Jabari at like 28 minutes, 6,400. I don't really get there.
I get him at 65 on FanDuel, but FanDuel's clearly different.
You said Parker 65?
Yeah.
Yeah, and small forward, right?
I'm double checking that, but that's my assumption. Yeah, he's small forward. So it's Paul George at 10-4, Durant at 9-4, and then you get all the way down to Ingles at 66, Jabari, Boyan, Bridges, Harkless, Crowder, Bruno, and then you quickly realize like this position is terrible.
Right.
So yeah, I get a lot of Jabari on that small forward there, which is another reason to play 100% of Troy Brown on small forward on FanDuel, so you don't have to be like, well, I wonder if Rodney Hood will be good today.
Right.
Yeah, do that. It's easier. Pay up for more Dame or more Booker or more Ayton or more anybody else. I don't have anything else in this game.
Nope.
Dude, we are at 55 minutes. Heroic effort on our way out the door. Closing it out with the late night hammer. I'd rather hit myself with a hammer. The Utah Jazz hosting the Los Angeles Lakers. 114.75 implied total for the Jazz. 101.75 for the Lakers. There's almost a 10% full gap between these two defenses. Jazz have limited fantasy points on a per possession basis by 7%, highest in the league. Lakers have been below average. Shock of all shocks. I haven't seen anything official on LeBron, but I think the common perception is he's out today.
Yeah. Are you assuming Rondo's in?
I have him in right now.
Yeah, so do I. I have LeBron out, Rondo in.
Okay. Let me just scroll up to the Lakers just to make sure I'm not missing anything else. Bullock questionable, Chandler questionable, Muscala questionable. Did you, and Josh Hart's still out, did you project Bullock in? I did.
No, I projected Bullock out.
Okay. I put him in just because of LeBron being out and just running out of bodies.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm still projecting him for his normal minutes, so it's not as if I like Bullock. I just was running out of dudes to give minutes, and I don't want to be like, oh, well, I got, fuck was that guy's name? Scott Machado, Manny's brother. Like, I don't want to give him 28 minutes because I ran out of bodies for the Lakers at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'll just assume I'll keep not playing Reggie Bullock, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I don't need a lot of Isaac Bonga or whoever the hell else shows up if these guys keep sitting. Let's talk about Utah. Massive pace-up spot. Fantastic defensive matchup. Every single person in the Jazz lineup has a better price on DraftKings than they do on FanDuel. We'll start with Rudy Gobert. 10K on FanDuel, 8,200 on DraftKings. I'm not really getting there. I'd like to, but I'm not. I have 7%.
So, I mean, we finally have a slate where there's no Vooch or Embiid or Jokic ahead of Gobert.
I know, and I still don't get him.
Yeah, I have him as a good play. I don't have him as the best play. Like, I have Cantor better. I have Ayton better.
Yeah.
It'll probably depend on exactly how much value opens up and if I just, like, have the money to get a couple extra raw points from Gobert.
Yeah, he will certainly open up more and more as value opens up more and more officially. Donovan Mitchell is the only guy that I'm really getting with any sort of volume. 9K on FanDuel, 7,900 on DraftKings. I'm neutral with the field. He's chalky, 31% on DK. I'm a little bit under on FanDuel, but still double digits. How do you feel about Mitchell?
I don't think I'll get 31%.
You have what at 31?
I don't think I will get to 31%, Mitchell.
Okay. I actually got to 31% on the dot.
Nice.
A very weird set of circumstances.
Yes, I mean, just guards that, factoring in price, guards that I have ranked higher than Mitchell on DraftKings. And I like Mitchell, obviously, but Lillard, Booker, Dorsey, Harrison, Arcidiacono, Wright, Thompson, Westbrook, Curry, Rondo.
You have Klay Thompson ahead of Donovan Mitchell?
Yep.
Okay, well, you're on drugs on that one. Most of that sounded fine. You're really, really crazy on Klay. Donovan Mitchell is $900 more expensive than Klay Thompson today.
Yep.
What in the world do you have Klay Thompson projected for? Do you have like rates with Cousins out or something still in there?
Maybe. I'm going back to look now.
I have Donovan Mitchell beating Klay Thompson 70% of the time, even including their salary. So that's just making me feel either like one of us is really wrong.
I have Klay's rate since the All-Star break in there.
With everybody?
Just overall.
Okay. Do you have him at how many points per minute today?
Oh, sorry. I have his rate since the start of February, just overall.
Okay.
I have him at 1.16.
Yeah. We have a bit of a chasm between the two of us.
He's at 1.07 since the start of February.
Yeah, I have him significantly. I have him under 1. Okay. Yeah, I will have more Mitchell than Klay Thompson, but I agree with just about everybody else you named there. I have him. I have him behind Dorsey, Harrison, Booker, Lillard, and Westbrook as like.
I just took his rate for the entire season, and I have him at 1.13. How many minutes do you have him at?
30 lots. I don't know. 5?
Yeah, 30. I have 36.
Okay. 35, I think, is what I have.
Yeah, so I have Klay at 40 points.
Let me get back to it. I have Klay at 33.
One of the best shooters of our generation, and you don't even appreciate it.
Well, if his name ended in Doncic, I might have him.
That was fun yesterday. I can't believe I wasted a 5% on Luka slate. Like I
got the alert for the triple double, and I was like, "Wait, Ryan Brokoff? Oh, it's the assist." I was like, "Ryan Brokoff got a fucking triple double?" No. Yeah, I enjoyed Luka yesterday.
Yeah,
I wish I could have like actually enjoyed it instead of just being happy because his name was Luka.
Right.
But
yeah, if you told me Luka went for almost 60 at 5% on FanDuel, I'd have been happy since I broke my FanDuel boycott just because of Luka.
Yeah.
But nope, still lost money.
Oh yeah. Shout out Thomas Bryant. Shout out Lauri Markkanen and the Poops.
Yeah.
I think Ricky Rubio's fine on DK 5,600. I don't really have much interest anywhere else. Derek Favors is at 21% ownership at 5,800, but I'm not seeing that one. He's just in no man's land.
Yeah, I have to say I love Favors.
I don't have a problem getting it's not that he grades out poorly. He's just behind like 6,000 other dudes, and I'm saving so much money at the guard spots that it's hard to go to a non-expensive big man.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Yeah, I mean I have him at like 32 points, so yeah, I guess it's more he'd be a better play on different slates.
Yeah, like I have no qualms with it. It's not like he's so far behind anybody else, but I'm gonna have a hard I can never play him ahead of Enes Kanter or DeAndre Ayton in this spot. Like I don't see those guys as close. If Markkanen plays, that's just another dude that I'd rather have ahead of Favors. So he gets pinched out because there's value up and down the line at guard. Makes for a decent pivot if you can find value elsewhere. It changes the construction if all of the guards are popular pay down options.
Yep.
Want to move to the Lakers?
Not really, but I guess we have to.
Yeah. What do we do with JaVale? He is 7,500 on FanDuel, 6,900 on DraftKings.
I have him at 30 minutes. He doesn't get there on this slate for me, which I'm okay with.
Yeah. Dude keeps smashing, though.
He's playing out of his mind right now.
1.42 fantasy points per minute over his last 30 days. You know who that's higher than?
LeBron?
Every single person in this game. Higher than Derek Favors, higher than Rudy Gobert. Higher than everybody. No one has a higher per minute total over the last 30 days than JaVale McGee in this game. He's probably one of the highest of the entire day. He's just nuking shit right now. And I have 0% on DraftKings.
We can't even get good data from. I was trying to see what happened in any recent back-to-backs, but the only one that we have was March 14th and 15th, but he'd only played 19 minutes against Toronto on the first half because of what looks like foul trouble and then a blowout. Then he played 30 on the second half. Like I'm projecting him for like 32, I guess, but I think there's a lot of volatility there.
Yeah. X Cossack said something in chat, and normally I'm poking at him, but I do want to address this. People really think McGee gonna go for 50 again versus Gobert and Favors with probably no Braun. This has been the case for a while. Rudy Gobert has never been like a center stopper from a fantasy perspective. he just makes their entire team be better at defense. He kind of doesn't give too many shits about whatever's happening to JaVale. I'm sure they're happy to let JaVale do JaVale shit if it means that like Rudy Gobert is swallowing up everything. So I don't ever really care too much about that individual center defense. It's not really the way that Rudy Gobert plays the position. They've never been, at least in the past, they've never been like a crazy center DVP thing. They're just a terrifying defense in the aggregate.
Right.
So I don't like when I see that. That doesn't make me want to change anything for Gobert or anything for McGee, other than the fact that the Jazz defense limits fantasy points better than any other team on the slate.
Right. Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. And I mean, Gobert at least also is a guy that you would expect McGee to be out there against.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, in the context of the slate, I just don't see myself getting a lot of McGee. Even at 32 minutes, I'm at 1.18 points per minute.
Yeah, I've been at 1.23, and I'm still not getting. I didn't want that to come off as like the way that I'm advocating for McGee, but more a way that I approach being against the Jazz.
Yep.
I'm getting Kuzma 6,300 on FanDuel. His price continues to be cheaper than it is on DK. I have no real interest on DraftKings. How do we manage Rondo? 6,500 FanDuel, 6K on DK. He's in the mid-20s in expected ownership. But sort of the same way that we talked about it before, like there's so much value at point guard that I don't know how I get to Rondo at this price tag, or I haven't been able to get to Rondo at this price tag. I'm just going all the way up to Lillard and Booker and whoever the hell, Russ. So what do you want to do with Rondo?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing I come in somewhere around 15, 20%. I have him as my 9th best point guard, but he's my number 1 point guard in the mid-range. Like I have him ahead of Satoransky. I have him ahead of Collison. I have him ahead of Rubio.
I have him behind Collison, ahead of Satoransky.
Okay,
behind Rubio, behind everybody else, behind Dorsey, Harrison, Blakeney, Booker, Lillard, Mitchell, Westbrook, Wright. Nothing looks bad about Rondo.
I have Wright ahead of him if Conley's out.
Okay.
But I assume that Rondo just soaks up a bunch of he'll soak up a bunch of my exposure, I think, in lineups where I need a mid-range point guard.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a tough fit for me. I am getting Lance on FanDuel at 3,900, so is there anybody named Green you could cross up on the Jazz? Anybody else with a color in their name? If you haven't seen Lance shake Jeff Green down last night, make him stumble, and then watch the Lakers bench just absolutely lose their mind, which is clearly like the most entertaining thing that's happened to them all season. You should seek that out immediately. Go to House of Highlights now. Anybody else here? KCP. I don't even. Caruso. Who else do you want?
Nobody.
If you have Reggie Bullock out, is that leading you to anything of value?
Nope, it just gives more minutes to the useless Alex Caruso. It solidifies KCP's minutes, but his price tag has come up. No, I mean, if everyone is actually in, then I'm interested in Rondo. Like, I think Rondo and Stevenson are probably my 2 highest owned guys. McGee is whatever. Kuzma is okay. I agree with you. He's better on FanDuel. If Rondo were to sit, then you get a bunch of minutes for Caruso.
Yeah.
If like McGee were to sit, you get a bunch of minutes for Wagner. But as of what we have right now, it's really unappealing overall. I think Rondo's probably my highest owned guy from the Lakers.
Okay. Dante in Slack says he stepped on his foot. Not impressive. You're not understanding the highlight correctly. I don't care what Lance did. It doesn't matter. It's the fact it's watching his teammates react to that in real time. That's the part of the highlight. And then watching Lance dance during the middle of a basketball game.
Yeah.
The fact that it's right or wrong is the least important piece of this.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jeff Green got it. Like, I loved his interview about it. Yeah. He's laughed and it's just like, yeah, no, he stepped on my foot, but whatever, just have fun with it.
Yeah. I mean, watch, like, people are just everywhere. Everybody's running in different directions. People are sprawled out on the court. I'm surprised they didn't have to stop the game. Like, it broke down on the baseline. They're dragging people off the floor. It's fantastic. So yeah, Chris Paul caught DJ Wilson too last night.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It's pretty similar. Paul had like 15 minutes to take the three then and buried it, but it's a lot different.
Because the Rockets are a professional basketball team that has something to play for other than Lance Stevenson.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back and watch that a couple times because it's fantastic. Stepping on someone's foot definitely makes them look bad, but he didn't shake him down. It doesn't matter. It's just the reaction is what you're paying for on this one. I don't give a shit if Lance Stevenson really shook him down or not. I just want to see Lance do dumb Lance stuff.
Yeah.
Guy's out of his mind. Don't forget, this is the guy that blew in LeBron's ear during a game.
I had actually totally forgotten about that.
Yeah, this guy does super weird stuff. So I don't need it to be based in fact at all. Yeah, I mean that is one of the premier gifts in the NBA. LeBron, just the reaction on LeBron's face when Lance Stevenson blows in his ear during a playoff game. What a dude! They broke the mold with that guy. I think he untied someone's shoe before a free throw at the free throw line too. I know J.R. Smith has done that, which that was probably a pretty good Henny day that day.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit one last Thrive prop. I'm pretty sure that we're both going to take the under on LeBron 39.5.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert points. 16.5 is the number. Should I just mute your microphone now and give the people the pick since I'm the one wearing this Thrive shirt, courtesy of Thrive Fantasy? If you go to bit.ly/Osimo, sign up with the promo code ThriveStrat, OsimoStrat. OsimoStrat's the promo code. Yeah. See, I'm too busy winning, 16.5 on Rudy Gobert. Even action on both sides.
I have 17.9.
I have 9. Nope, wrong guy. 18.1. It is my number 5 prop. So shout out to Thrive Fantasy. Check them out. Picking player props, you get a list of 20. You pick your favorite 10. And when you're better than your colleagues, they send you free t-shirts. Fantastic. Adam, anything else on the NBA today?
Nope. Be back with Offie at 6.
Baseball tomorrow, my man.
Cannot wait.
Get ready. Thank you for joining us. The NBA shows are going to look a little bit different over the next 10, 12 days. Putting a little bit more firepower in behind baseball, but NBA is not going anywhere. You're still getting a ton of it. And for those of you that are quite fond of Fast Eddie, he will be taking the reins for a lot of the Live Before Lock shows, so be prepared for that. Rest of the day, kind of empty. Deep Dive will be out from Laffy in the early afternoon. Deeper Dive from 6 to 7. Hour later, we have a late lock today. And then Live Before Lock is Chris and Eddie. I'm taking you all the way up until 8 p.m. Baseball show tomorrow, of course. Maybe more than one. What else we got? No golf show tonight. Lineups are already locked for the Dell Technologies Match Play tournament. So right now it's one final day of basketball before all hell breaks loose. Check out NHL content. I assume it's Nolan and EMAC today, going live. So that's what we've got. It all changes tomorrow. Best of luck, everybody. Adam, anything else?
Nope.
We're out of here. Thanks for joining us, people. An hour and 15 minutes. You can't beat it.